Hey, somebody needs to write a letter to the editor. You did? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are listening to The Professional Noticer.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Here, you and I will use common sense and all the wisdom we can muster to move beyond what is true and go all the way to the truth.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Creating measurable results for people like you and families like yours. No longer a member of the amateur ranks. I am the Professional Noticer.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I didn't think it'd be like this.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. While our topics might seem to vary wildly at times, it is because the things you care about most are often greatly affected by the things you care about least. Therefore, we will field questions about business, spiritual issues, popular culture, and how to fill a hamster ball with water so your pet octopus can walk around the house. My purpose here today and with every show we do is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life you would live if all your toughest questions were answered. The Professional Noticer is sponsored this week by IAITAM.org, the Technological Lifesavers. Observations and answers. That's what we do here. Every week I toss out a few observations and you provide the questions. Then we harness common sense and wisdom to plow through the issue all the way to an answer for you. So here's what I'm seeing this week. I wanted this week to be a topic that we could do a top 5 list, and I wanted them all to tie together. Our topic is bad marketing. I think when you and I see good marketing, we respond, or it doesn't bother us. But have you ever seen, it's just something, this is such an obvious example of bad marketing that you think, I don't blame the people who put this on the air or in the newspaper or on a billboard. I blame the people around them who say, yeah, that was a good idea. Well, what are you thinking? So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on bad marketing. Number 5. And, this is just kind of crazy to me, but really a funny one. You know that Kamado Joe sponsors this podcast occasionally. And I love those people because of their dedication to quality and because of the things that they have done to make this the best grill that there is. I mean, bar none. Now, behind the scenes, I got to tell you that the number one selling is the one that has been in business for probably 30 more years, okay? This is kind of like a Hertz Avis kind of situation, I suppose. And so the Big Green Egg is the one that has, been in first place for a long time because they had like a 30-year head start. And so all of a sudden, this Kamado Joe comes out, and a lot of the independent retailers are taking this thing because it is, it's just fabulous. And so after a while, and it started really, really catching on and digging in. Because, if you look at it, it's just so apparently better than the Big Green Egg, virtually same price. And so people are choosing the Kamado Joe. So all of a sudden, this is like a couple or 3 years ago, Big Green Egg comes out with an edict, and the edict is to all these independent people that if you carry Kamado Joe, you can't carry Big Green Egg anymore. And so actually some people got scared and I go, oh, we've been selling these Big Green Eggs for a long time. And so, okay. And so, the Kamado Joe people were justifiably aggravated at that. But very quickly they realized, wait a minute, this is the best thing that could have ever happened. Their bad marketing idea to basically say you can't even be in here with us turned out to be the greatest marketing for Kamado Joe. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, Kamado Joe, they didn't go for the jugular like I thought they should have. I'm like, are you kidding? I mean, what a great idea to say they won't even stand beside us. They won't even let you compare us. And it's true, because if you look at the hinge, well, the hinge on the Kamado Joe looks like George Jetson did it, and the hinge on the Big Green Egg looks like somebody did it in his shop class when he was in high school. I'm just telling you, it's vastly different. And so when, what a horrible marketing decision for Big Green Egg to say, nope, if you're going to carry them, you're not going to carry us. And so you move forward a couple of years. I actually went to a huge retailer here in Orange Beach, and they're friends of mine, and they had carried Big Green Egg forever. And so I was assuming that really that had done the same thing. They'd done the same thing with them. But I was over there one day, and I was with the manager just talking, and I happened to see that beautiful red Kamado Joe peeking behind a corner. They're in their outdoor section. And this is $100 shoes. I'll tell you exactly where it is. $100 shoes. It's at the Wharf. It's a massive place. And so I said to Mike, I said to my friend, I said, hey, I thought Big Green Egg put out this edict that if you carried Kamado Joe, you couldn't carry Big Green Egg. He said, yeah, they did. I said, but I see that you have both of them. He said, yeah, we told him if you're making us choose, we choose Kamado Joe. And so they didn't make them choose. Amazing. And, you can add, you can consider this commercial for Kamado Joe because they do sponsor our show, but we're very picky as to who gets to sponsor the show. We're very picky about it. And we only allow people sponsoring the show that we know about the integrity and the value behind the scenes, and so that is certainly true of ITAM today, and certainly true of Kamado Joe. All right, number 4. Number 4 is curious. LifeLock. It's an American identity theft protection company, and we've heard their ads all over TV. Now, this was a bad marketing idea when Todd Davis, the CEO of LifeLock, published his own Social Security number on the official website to prove that his system works. And his quote was, LifeLock makes your personal information useless to a criminal. Well, as you may have already guessed, it didn't work. Todd has been a victim of identity theft at least 13 times so far. This is according to the Phoenix newspaper. And moreover, LifeLock was fined $12 million last year by the Federal Trade Commission for deceptive advertising. Yeesh. Okay, number 3. Any company doing consistent sales events. It's just a bad marketing idea to base your whole company's advertising on sale to sale to sale to sale. Because what you're doing, and I say this all the time, but what you're doing is you're teaching your customers never to buy at retail. You're teaching your customers, oh, don't worry, next week they'll have a sale. You're teaching your customers to always wait for a sale. So it's just a bad marketing idea. And I couldn't name a specific company because I've seen it happen so many times. Number two, a Texas mattress company used the 9/11 disaster in its sales promotions. It's a Miracle Mattress. They posted a video, and you might can still see this on YouTube, but this was a video they posted on their official Facebook page. And it was called the Twin Tower Sale. And on this video, this woman offers to buy their mattresses for a twin price to better remember 9/11. That's just a bad marketing idea. Number one bad marketing idea that I've seen lately. I got to say, I used to watch ESPN all the time. Used to listen to ESPN all the time. I'm sorry to say I'm doing it less. I can't remember when I've listened or watched. But when ESPN came out with an announcement that they were no longer going to air the national anthem on Monday Night Football, I don't know about me, I thought, yeah, that's it. I got other things I can do than contribute there. Don't write me letters. If you're going to write me letters saying, they have their right. Absolutely, they do have a right to say whatever they want, to do whatever they want. But I got to tell you, it is bad marketing to say yes and to say we agree and to say we're going to support you to a smaller group of loud people than you would ever say we will support you to the probably at least 80% of the people who like to hear the national anthem and who have always been curious about who's going to sing it this time and how are they going to sing it and how are they going to, are they going to do it like Whitney Houston or are they going to do it like, so-and-so who forgot the words. It's something that as a marketing person, you would look at and go, I'm not being smart here. And, if anybody else is just like me, and they can do whatever they want to do. But so can I. Am I calling for a boycott? No, absolutely not. But I am going to be watching things that don't make me mad. Or, it's just like, it's just like watching a YouTube thing or watching the television show of somebody that you profoundly disagree with. It's a way of propping up their ability to get their message out. It's contributing money to people that you would rather not lead the charge in our country. And it's almost like telling a kid, a kid comes and says, Dad, can I go walk along that cliff? Can I go? And you're saying, no, you can't. But get in the car and I'll drive you there and leave you there. It's just a bad idea to financially support things that you disagree with. And when the disagreement runs better than 80%, that's bad marketing. All right. This week's The Professional Noticer is sponsored by IAITAM.org. These are the technological lifesavers. It's pronounced ITAM.org. It's IAITAM.org. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, one of my clients had just a technological meltdown. I mean, literally all across the country, none of their people could get online. And it was some kind of bug that had infected the system and literally business shutdown. This is a multi-billion-dollar company that was shut down. You recently heard of an airline that, they had to cancel thousands of flights because for like an extended period of time, one day their computers went down. Everything went down. Right now, as I am talking to you now, I had an email come in from Moultrie Outdoors, and it said, we're sorry, this is our second day of being offline, and we can't provide your pictures and stuff that you get from us online until we. I mean, this happens all the time. Okay, so when my client went down for an entire day, I was very concerned for them, as you might imagine. At my house that very day was a lady named Barb. It's Dr. Barb Rimbiesa. And Dr. Barb and Lieutenant Dan, they happened to be at our house. We're going to eat at our home that evening, but I was having lunch with them. These people are so smart, I don't even understand some of what they do. But they're IT asset managers. And so Dr. Barb was going to be at our house that night, and I told our boys, I said, look, you guys have met a lot of unbelievable entrepreneurs, and you've met people who started their own business. But Dr. Barb, she started an industry. Okay, because, a number of years ago, when she started this, it started in 1997. It was 21 years ago. There was really nobody who understood a lot about the software and what you do and how you comply with federal law, and there were just tons of lawsuits going on. And Dr. Barb actually started IAITAM.org. Now, we pronounce it itam.org. But these people are asset managers. And I would urge you to go to this website, click on the membership tab, and then go down to the membership list. Because, see, I called my client that day. I had lunch with Dr. Barb and Lieutenant Dan that day, and this was on my mind that one of my clients was having a meltdown technologically. And I said, are they members? Are they members of your association? And she said, I don't know, here. And she handed me her cell phone, and she had called up something on the cell phone. She said, here's the member list, see if they're in there. And so I'm scrolling down. It's all in alphabetical order. And after a minute or so, she said, are they there? I said, I don't know. I'm not out of the A's yet. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I mean, I was seeing AT&T, Amex, American Express, Amtrak, American Heart Association, Bank of America, Bank of Tokyo, Bank of Montreal, Bass Pro Shops, Blue Cross, Boston College, Boeing Corporation, NASA, Nintendo, Nationwide, Nestle, New York Life, Nokia. I'm just giving you a few A's, a few N's. I'm looking at the list now, all the way down to the Z's, the WXYZs. You got Wells Fargo, Yale University, and Zurich. It was astounding. And I called my client that day and I said, you know what? I said, you need to look at this list, because every single one of your competitors is on this list. Do you see who's missing? That's right. You. This company, ITAM, it teaches how to manage assets. It teaches how to manage your technological assets. They have literally 2 years ago, they had saved, by absolute calculation and proof, they had saved over $1 billion for their clients. But now it is billions. Their members are from 126 countries. And what companies do is they have somebody that connects with ITAM to understand how to manage that technology. Over and over again, ITAM has saved well over 10% of the budget, of the company's budget in technology, just by teaching some of the people exactly what to look for and exactly what to do. I've told clients for years, I do not know a CEO or a company executive staff that is not held hostage by their IT department. And the reason is the IT department, they know more than anybody else knows about technology. And so when the CEO or some executive says, hey, can we do this? And they say, well, no, we can't do it because of this. All you can say is, oh, okay. Or they say, do we comply here? Yes, we do. Okay. I mean, you're gambling your corporate future on your IT people and their ability to be right. And they can only be as correct as their education allows. And so ITAM is the only association in the world licensed to license people to be IT asset managers. Don't let your company die just because of the business side of IT and not understanding that. You can manage your IT assets. Most of us have our head in the sand when it comes to IT. I certainly am one of those with my head in the sand. And so I have to rely. Matt, so do you know everything about technology? Do you know everything?
Well, Andy, I think that's for me to know and you to hope I'm right.
Well, that's exactly the way most relationships exist between the boss and the IT people. You may think you're the boss, but the IT people rule the world right now. If you cannot do without your IT, if your technology shuts down, if it shut down and it would shut you down, you cannot afford not to be a member of ITAM.org. All right. Observations and answers. That's what we do here. I deliver the observations. You provide the questions. The questions are a critical component of the person you and I aspire to become. Nobody should be embarrassed to ask a question. The person who never asks a question, they either know everything or they don't know anything. Always remember, the quality of your answers can only be determined by the quality of your questions. And this week, our question is from Misty in Virginia. Let's listen.
Hey, Andy, this is Misty from Virginia. My husband and I are about to become empty nesters. Our youngest leaves for college tomorrow. I'm a full-time working mother, but I consider myself a full-time mom. I don't miss all the appointments and sporting events and school events, etc. Our oldest is an RN and about to go into anesthesia school. She lives at home saving money for school, but is gone at least 60-plus hours a week. So we're about to enter a whole new phase of life, and I'm afraid the void that will be left, they've been our life for the past 22 years. How do we cope? Thank you.
Misty, I got to tell you right off the bat, how do you cope? I don't know. I'm looking at the same thing happening. I look at our boys, and I think, how did you get so big? What happened? I look at Austin, and every time I'm in the room with Austin, I think, are you taller than me? I think you're taller than me. And both of them are stronger than me, so it's a good thing they're good guys because I threaten to spank them and they just laugh at me. But I don't know exactly how you cope, but I do have some suggestions. You say that your husband and you are about to become empty nesters. I hear over and over again from successful empty nesters that they're focusing on the time now that they have together. It's a very cool thing that both you and your husband have obviously focused for a number of years on your children. And that's okay. But I'm assuming, because you're still married, that you have also taken some time to focus upon each other. Now, you can broaden that. I mean, there are some decisions that that you will be able to make now, things that you will be able to do and you and your husband will be able to do, that they weren't even on the idea file before, because you had to be sure somebody was home at a certain time, and you had to be sure somebody was going where they said they were going, and you had to be sure that you were the net, that you were the safety net. Okay, well, you're not the safety net anymore. You know, I'm sure that you raised your children in a way that they can perform without that net. They're the Wallendas. They're out in the world. They're walking the tightrope without a net. You can't be their net if you wanted to. It would do nothing but drive you crazy. And so this whole new phase of your life, you know, it's almost like when you decided to begin having children, and you looked at that little being and you knew that you could shape this, that you could make a difference with the decisions you helped make with this little kid, and then it was a teenager, and now you're about to see them out into the world. It's a time that you can now choose what kind of life you and your husband live, and what you do. And just because they have been, the children have been your life the past 22 years, doesn't mean they won't continue to be a huge part of your life. It'll just be a different relationship. Have you ever considered that? And I don't know if you have any friends, like I have a friend, Kevin Perkins. And Kevin and I were best friends in high school, and then we're best friends now as, you know, middle-aged people. And yet our relationship has changed over the years. You know, I don't love Kevin and Glenda any less or any more, but our relationship is different. You know, we don't do the same things. We don't think about the same things. For one thing, both of us are married, so we don't think about the same things anymore that we used to when we were in high school. I think that now you and your husband will also move into a different relationship, but you're going to have to choose it. You're going to have to look at each other at some point and take a deep breath and say, we're going to focus on each other now. It doesn't mean, listen, it doesn't mean you can't focus on several things, but it is critical that one of the things you focus on now is your life partner. It's critical that your husband also begins to focus more on you. It doesn't mean the kids can't be a huge part of your life. You know, it tells me that not only were you a good mom, you still are a good mom, because your oldest is living at home, saving money for school, gone at least 60 hours a week. Listen, you know, your oldest could leave. If your oldest wanted to leave, could leave. But your oldest chooses to stay under the same roof as you and your husband, which means that you have successfully transitioned from a parent of a little kid to a parent of an adolescent to a parent of teenagers to a parent of a young adult. You have successfully made all those transitions. And I just think there is no way that you will not successfully transition from the parent of a young adult living under your roof to a parent of a young adult who lives under another roof. You got this. Who you have become already is enough. This is not to say that you won't become more. You will. You must become more. You must become different, because things have changed. And one thing you can be sure about today is that tomorrow things will be different. Things do change. And this is part of the reason we must change. We must learn. We must become more. We got to become better. And that happens with your quiet time. That happens with what you read, with what you watch, who you're around. I'll bet anything you have friends who have successfully made the transition you are about to make. And I would urge you to spend some time with them. And you don't necessarily even have to say, hey, tell me what to do. But just to go to lunch with them, to see their vibe, just to feel how they are now. Because you're going to go through a period of, I don't know, I would expect it might be a little lonesome sometimes. You know, I have been reminded, I'm down in my office right now. Matt and I are down in my office. It was just under our whole house. And occasionally I'll be down here trying to write or recording the professional noticer, and I'll hear up above, boom, 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 boom. And, you know, Matt and I will look at each other and roll our eyes, and I'll have to go upstairs and go, hey guys, please, you know, what are you doing? Are you like rearranging the furniture? It sounds like a herd of buffalo. Please, just be quiet for a little bit longer. And it does occur to me that when my boys move away from here, it will be quiet enough to do everything. And I might not like that a whole lot. But we can be grateful for the different times in our life. I intend to not only be valuable to my young men now who are 16 and 18, I intend to be valuable to them when they are 23 and 25. And you will be too. Misty, you got this. Okay? All right. Matthew, I think that'll do it. Get us out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing the tiny bits of mental energy I have for you, seeking wisdom, making observations, and endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, smile while you talk, shake hands with the kids you meet, and make sure you have an answer to the question, if the number 2 pencil is the most popular, why is it still number 2? And so, until next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limbert. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugarcane Jane. Catnip for the cast and crew provided by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by yogurtlovers.edu. Educating the world about the health benefits of curdled dairy products. If it's not quite bitter enough to be sour cream, but too sour to be milk, it's yogurt. Yogurtlovers.edu. With enough fruit and the right amount of added sugar, you can eat anything.